don't forget to click that subscribe and bell icon to receive a notification each time I upload a new video. So we've got a bit of an interesting week, or hopefully an interesting week coming up. This weekend we have a national holiday, what we call a bank holiday. So end of May bank holiday. But the weathermen are saying that it's going to be really, really nice weather. So we're going to have a hot heat wave, as opposed to a cold heat wave, a hot heat wave over the bank holiday, which is going to be good. So after the last few weeks of constant rain, which has made the garden just go and grow like mad, we'll be able to get out there, do some tidying up, cut the grass, do some weeding, and start looking at maybe moving plants that are growing too close to each other, that kind of stuff. Just really assess how the garden's going. But hopefully it'll also mean that we can get out and go to some of the local garden centres, because Ian's still got his two large grey planters that we got a few weeks ago that he hasn't potted up yet. He hasn't kind of decided what he wants to do with them, and because they're his project, not my project. My last project was the Butler sink, the alpine rockery, and those big pots were his. So he's got to decide what he wants to put in those, and we'll go out and get those done. We need to get some more compost, peat-free compost, obviously. Trying to be as ecologically friendly as possible. So we need to get up there and get some of that. He needs to decide what he wants to do. So we're going to get those, try and get them done this weekend. But also, when we first moved into the house 2 years ago, our friend Sheila said that as a housewarming gift, she would buy us an apple tree, because I've always wanted to have an apple tree in the garden. Our old house, we already had a fruit in black cherry tree, and we also had a Canadian maple, and there was, at the bottom of the garden, there was a bank of birch trees. So there wasn't really room for another apple tree. But this garden, there's no trees at all, so we have got room. So that's what she said she would buy us as a housewarming gift. So all we had to do was to go and find the right one and just tell her, and she'd pay for it, or give us the money for it. But we never got around to doing it, so I want to try and do that this weekend, see if I can find an apple tree for the garden. Now that we've got the fruit beds in, not the fruit beds, the veg bed in, and it's got a bit more structure to it, there is obviously room for an apple tree. But I think I might find one, or try and find one, that I can grow in a large container just for the first couple of years, not plant into the ground, but actually just put it in a container. So I get a dwarf rootstock apple tree, maybe a graft. I know you can get apple trees now that have got different varieties that are grafted onto a main dwarf stem, so you get different types of apple from the same tree, which will be exciting. So that's what we're going to try and achieve this weekend, providing the weathermen know what they're doing, and we get the hot, lovely weather that we've been promised. Looks like it's misty over the Pennines this morning. You can barely see the landscape over there. Normally you can see right across to the Pennine foothills, but look at it, it's all misty and foggy this morning. Somebody's a bit tired. I don't know whether it's the dog or Ian.
Me.
So the sun's come out today. It's a lovely day, so we've all come out for a walk, haven't we? Hey, all come out for a walkie. You want to go home now, don't you? You've had enough.
I've got the rush for you, not me. Come on. Come here. Come on.
Yeah, the sun's been out all day. It's been lovely. We've been out in the garden. Ian's cut the grass, haven't you?
I have. I'm absolutely knackered now. How's the expression?
So we're just on our way back home, having walked quite some distance. Here he is. Hello, monkey. I know. Talk about making the most of your space.
I think he may fall off this.
Crazy dog. It's Tuesday morning. It's the 1st of June. And we've just come through our May bank holiday. So it was a long extended holiday. We had Monday off, so a nice long 3-day weekend. And the sun shone beautifully all weekend. It's been red hot. And we've been able to get out into the garden and do a few more jobs, a bit of tidying up. Bit of deadheading, a bit of weeding, and a bit more planting, which is absolutely fantastic. And also, yesterday, 31st of May, marked our 2-year house anniversary. So we actually moved into that new house 2 years ago yesterday. So I know time's flown past so quickly. It only seems like yesterday that we actually moved in. But the garden's coming on in leaps and bounds with a couple of new additions to the garden. And we've finally got the big tall pots planted up, which was Ian's project, and a few other little bits and pieces planted in the garden as well. So it was a fairly kind of relaxed, didn't do anything or much at all over the weekend. Just downtime, basically. We both had some downtime, which is nice. So, but this morning, obviously back to work. Started processing all the website orders this morning. Printed all those off and started packing up stencils ready for shipping. And then suddenly realised we were out of milk. So I've had to come out and get some milk, because although I do like the occasional black coffee, I do prefer it with milk. But also top up on the bread and a few other bits and pieces as well. So it needs to be done. And again, this morning, 1st of June, the sun is blisteringly hot again. It's crystal clear blue skies, not a cloud in sight. So patio doors are wide open, the cushions are on the furniture in the garden, and Mr. Bentley is laid out enjoying himself. Well, he's coming in and out because he gets too hot, then he comes in and cools off, then he goes back out again, and rinse repeat, if you know what I mean. He does that all day. So yeah, It's going to be a doozy.
We've just finished filming for Steampunk Tuesday on a Wednesday. Confusing, I know.
I know, it's Wednesday morning.
And Bentley is far, far, far too warm. We have Teddy. See how tired he is? What's that? You can see an ear. Can you see an ear?
He just poked his nose up.
Oh, it's too warm for him.
It says the sun is shining again. It's just gone lunchtime. It's absolutely roasting hot again. We've just finished filming, so we've just done the front on kind of intro to it. Mr. Bentley's decided to give me a wash now, look.
And I think in a minute we'll go outside and we'll go through the garden and show you what we've been up to. Or have you already done that?
No, not yet.
Okay. So, what are we doing?
Looking at my poorly Hypericum.
Is it getting any better?
Well, I don't know. You see all the white spots on it?
Yes.
That's the bicarbonate of soda that I've sprayed on the leaves to get rid of the red spot.
Ah, but look at those flowers. Aren't they pretty?
Yes, and they will get red berries on there as well. It's actually flowering late then. It's supposed to be a spring flower.
It was, I think you're playing doctor though, aren't you?
I am. It was in the plant hospital and I adopted it for a £5.
Yes.
And I'm trying to nurse it back to health, hence the bicarbonate of soda treatment.
Yes.
So the red spot, the rust, is treatable just by dissolving bicarbonate of soda in water and spraying it on. It's supposed to solve it. Whether it works or not remains to be seen, but I said it was only a £5, so
Hey ho.
indeed. So are you going to show them
Yes.
your new additions to the
I'll
garden?
show them the beds first.
Go on then, show them the bed.
Okay, so new additions to the veg bed are the peas.
Mm-hmm.
They will start to wrap themselves round. If they don't, in the next couple of days I shall assist. Cabbages are coming along a treat. I love the feel of the leaves. The carrots are doing beautifully.
Were you channeling Callum then?
There was carrots. I watch a programme called
Beech Grove.
Beech Grove. It's like Gardener's World in the UK, but it's a Scottish version and it's got Callum. Callum's rather loud and Callum grows prize winning vegetables, but very loudly.
It is Scottish.
It is. We have the radish. They're only planted on the 11th, so they're doing very well. And they were the ones you saw us put in that was on like little bits of toilet paper.
That's the ones doing very, very well. So the toilet paper works.
Yep. The beans are romping. These are what Dad gave us. I think we've sorted out the black fly on the broad beans.
Because there doesn't appear
There's
to be
a
any.
few,
Good.
but not many, so they'll get another spray in the morning.
Okay. And these
The peas are the...
are the purple snap that was sent to us in Happy Meal. Unfortunately, I can't remember who sent them.
I can't either.
So these are American purple snap.
Yes.
And they're doing rather well, as you can see.
They're doing very well. And the strawberries are coming on as well. We have some strawberries on the other one.
We do.
Tiny baby one.
Yes. So, new additions?
New additions have come this way. We have the pots. We eventually found something to put in the pots. And we've put spotted cubas, Mike.
Yes.
They will grow quite tall, but we can trim them. And we've underplanted with some of this Mitchia, which has little yellow flowers on it, and also some petunias. And we've done 2 of those. These are the pots we've got little bits and bats in. I need to water again tonight.
These are leftovers, aren't
These
they?
are leftovers.
There are some begonias in there. We're just waiting for them to come up, but they won't unless they keep getting watered.
Which I watered them this morning.
Good.
I'll water them again in a minute. Then we have the left spotted teddy. Just joking.
So
And we've got the
2 of
other one
those.
here, yeah.
So 2 of the big pots.
And then, have they seen Brian? They haven't.
No, they haven't.
Oh, look at this. This is Mike's. He came on for the garden centre with us. It took him a while to get here. But that's Brian.
Brian the snail.
Yeah. Funny enough, Dad's called Brian as well.
Yes, no relation. And the other addition to the family is one of these. It's an apple tree, a standard apple tree, and it already has
Apples on it.
Look, there's already apples forming on it.
And this is a housewarming present for our friend Sheila.
Yes, although 2 years late, but that's only because we haven't got one. We hadn't bothered to get one, but she did say that when we find an apple tree, she would pay for it. So thank you, Sheila. That's what it looks like.
Everything else is doing really well.
Yes, everything is quite...
The fern we acquired while we're in Cornwall.
Yes, this was a repatriated fern from Cornwall that wasn't doing very well. So I rescued it, and it's now doing rather lovely.
The lupins are flowering.
Yes.
So of course are the clematis, and these
Absolutely.
are beautiful.
Big, beautiful clematis flowers.
These need chopping off to the ajuga tomorrow.
Yep, so they are just about going over, so they do want...
Deadheading.
Yes,
Hi, darling.
and hopefully it will encourage more growth. The cranesbill geranium is about to flower. And that's a Mr. Bentley.
Your
Penstemons.
penstemons are doing very well.
Yes.
Don't even think it. Go on.
Mr. Bentley was about to start walking
The
through the
white
bed then.
lupins are doing well. But look at the delphiniums.
Yes, look at those beauties. They've opened in the last day or so.
Yes, they have.
They're not very tall this year because they're just new. Oh, and there's my beautiful scabious. Look at those. Pincushion.
And we have
Absolutely.
ferns, which has really taken off. And the baskets, troughs.
So they're looking very lush, very full. And the lotus is starting to flower again.
So it's good. It's beginning
We've
to
got
grow.
spiders living in the plants.
Spiders.
It's not very good, is it?
This
There's
is this mixture as well, but this is a bigger variety.
Yeah.
Mind yourself down there. There's some.
Okay.
Agapanthus
Agapanthus.
is getting ready to flower.
So they're blue agapanthus. Lovely.
This allium is just waiting to go bang.
It is.
I mean, look, that's how strong they are. Again, another one.
Another one of those. More of those. Everything's starting to look.
these.
I know. They're all starting to look very, very lush, and also the lavender's starting to get ready to flower as well. But it's all looking rather
This one's
yummy.
beautiful.
It is. So just step back so you can admire the wheel with all those lovely hostas, the fatsias and the lavender, and of course the ferns, who was donated by Mother.
Yes. Donated, she didn't want them, so we dug them out. I think it's looking good. We're getting there.
Yep, it's certainly looking a lot better than it was at this time last year. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. Thank you.